up, everybody? This is Trent with SoutheastGripPort.com, and we're hanging out with Mikey from Islander.
What up?
And Charlie the Chihuahua. Hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You guys just played at Halo Festival, and you got some other awesome tour stuff coming up. So, where are you guys going and all that? Like, tours, bands?
We're in South Carolina right now. We drove from Chicago not Chicago, but Illinois, Peoria, and then we tomorrow we're driving to New Mexico.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty crazy. It's a long drive.
Yeah.
But we have to be there the next day, so we should hopefully make it.
Yeah.
But we're going out with 10 Years and Starset.
Okay.
We're doing a month with those guys, and then we're picking up doing direct support with POD.
Nice.
And yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. We're just staying busy, hustling.
Yeah.
So
now, one thing fans can expect to see on these new tours coming out are a lot of new faces on stage. A lot of stuff has happened recently.
My wife just walked into the camera, just so you know. So now my dog wants to hang out with her. Hold on a second. There you go, Josh Dogs.
Sorry.
Thanks, wife.
Hi.
Wife.
I'm wife.
So, like I was saying, fans can expect to see a lot of new faces, as of recently as tonight on stage and everything. So, we can talk about what's going on. It's it was kind of a shock to a lot of people who follow you guys that multiple people had left the band at the same time. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess it's weird to see on the internet something like that. Two people at the same time are gone. It was just for the best. It's something that had to be done. It wasn't easy. It was a difficult thing. We had to ask somebody to step down from the band, and at the same time that we had asked somebody to leave, somebody else decided to step down and choose that for themselves. So yeah, it wasn't fun or easy for anybody.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing to navigate through, but it's something that had to be done. And we love those guys. We want the best for them, and we just want them to be happy with what they decide to do in the future. So yeah, that's really it.
Okay.
So then we just called one of our friends and called one of his friends, and it's kind of funny. Like, most of the guys that are playing with us now, they've all toured with other bands and stuff together.
Yeah, it's kind of like a super. I was thinking about that a while ago. You got forgive me for forgetting his name, the bass player from Spoken. Joe, who's been in Red before, JR from Love and Death. I mean, you kind of have like a super group of rock and roll dudes up there. So what's that like playing with those guys?
Well, dude, they're making me step up my game for sure. That's kind of a lot of the reason things have happened. I guess just direction and things in the band. We decided to just practice differently, and I'm getting vocal lessons and stuff like that. Just always striving to better myself in the arts. And I just don't want to settle and just say, let's just do it this way, this punk rock, whatever, and not care. You can be punk rock, but you can have heart, and you can have passion and care about what you're doing enough to do it right. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of thing, I grew up listening to Bad Brains and Converge and Dillinger Escape Plan and just all that world of music, and that'll always, be what we're about. Mm-hmm. So just so happens my first love is new wave music, and I love Depeche Mode and New Order, Joy Electric, Joy Division, that kind of stuff. So those melodies, all that kind of stuff, it creeps into our music, and you get Islander.
Yeah.
So
is anything said as far as permanent people listeners of writing? Because I mean, we've talked before. You said you're constantly writing and everything, and writing about stuff. Has that changed anything towards any new material that may be worked on? Any kind of writing differences, things being scratched, put on the back burner for that some other old members wrote, and to make way for the new stuff?
No, me and JR, we've been writing all the new stuff. That's the way we've always kind of worked. Anyways, the former members or stuff, me and Andrew, we used to be the ones that we would get together and just doodle, basically. That's what I've always called it, doodling. Or I would bring a guitar part, and I'd say, "Here, Febreze this, play it right." You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, playing with JR and stuff, he brings this freshness and this different mentality. I mean, he's been influenced a lot by Head from Korn and stuff. He started playing with those guys and touring with them when he was 15. Mm-hmm. So I think that he had to step up his game really fast too, and this kind of thing where we don't think we're U2, we don't think we're any of the, we don't think we're anything crazy or whatever. we just want to be the best version of Islander that we can be, and that's really a lot of the reason we've just been going and saying, you know what, let's go back and let's do what we used to do, is practice. Because like when you're on tour, you're constantly just like, you don't really practice. That is practice, but you don't get to talk about things and work on things the way that you necessarily want to, and that's kind of what we've been doing. We decided to go practice, and it's getting there. We'll see what happens. We're happy with the music that we're making, and we're just excited to be creative again.
Yeah. Do you feel like some of that creativity was lost before all this stuff happened, and it
Definitely.
kind of like you guys hit a plateau, kind of just like flatlined for a while, then like you got all this new fresh stuff coming in, you guys are like kicking it back. And
I mean, even, you know, like in the studio, there were a lot of things that like some of us wanted to do differently, or the producer was really pushing us to step out of the box, basically, and do different things. And there were a lot of things holding us back from that. And I think now we can finally experiment and say, dude, let's make some weird music. You know what I mean? Not like crazy weird.
Yeah.
Just, again, I'm a new wave fan, so there's some structure there. But every once in a while, a little bad brains tendency comes out.
Yeah. So do you think, you know, beforehand, you talked about how like everybody in the band at one point believed different things, but like all these new members, from what I understand, y'all pretty much have the same faith and all that. Do you think that's going to like the faith, you know, is going to come out more in the music, or become more of a presence in Islander than it was in the past, whereas you had members who probably didn't believe in the same stuff?
I mean, even all of us, you know, we haven't got to sit down and say, so give me a list of the things you believe. I don't know what everybody believes in this band. So I mean, I guess you can say there's always anybody you play music with or do anything, anybody you work with in life, they're gonna have the opportunity, it's always gonna have the possibility for them to believe different than you. I don't believe the same things exactly as my wife.
Yeah.
You can't expect to go and meet somebody and say, yo, like, we believe all the exact same things, now we're going to play music. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've always told people, you don't have to believe it. I believe to play music with me, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but as far as, like, you know, trying to make something that is more along the lines of what I believe or something, and this the idea of, like, Christianity or something, we've always told people, it's like if we owned a restaurant. We're just a restaurant. We want to make good food, and that's what we want people to know us by. Be like, man, that place is really good to eat at. So if we're a band, we just want to say, hey, like, we're making music that's enjoyable. You know, at least we enjoy it, and we see other people enjoy it. That's awesome. But we definitely just, I don't know. Sorry, there's people walking around. It's not the train of thought. But yeah, so we're just trying to make good food, man.
I understand. I get you. So last time we talked to you guys, it was, you know, you guys are playing a tiny venue, the Radio Room, that actually sponsored this event. And, you know, that was, you know, right when you guys were starting to really get it going. You know, you guys were getting ready to do all these awesome tours before Mayhem and all that stuff last year. You guys have done so much in the last, you know, not even the last year as a band. What are some things you would go back and tell your former self, you know, then that you've learned since then to probably like help with some mistakes that probably made, or some decisions, or you know, things along those lines? Or some like lessons that you've learned?
I would say, hey, before you go in the studio to record a record, I mean, I like the way the record sounds. I love it. I'm just saying, like, just for the touring aspect and stuff. Hey, go get voice lessons. Like, go get real vocal lessons and sit down and, like, you know, have a vocal instructor or whatever, because you start doing damage to your voice when you play so much. You know, we just go on tours like 2 months at a time, come home for a week, and go back out 2 months at a time. So if you're not doing things in the correct way, you're going to start damaging your voice and stuff like that. So I would tell myself, hey, go figure out how to do this. I still don't really know how to do every single thing.
Yeah.
Again, that punk rock background, you know what I mean? That just don't give a crap mentality about anything. Just do what you want to do. There's a bug on me, dude. He's got a punk rock mentality. So
from what I can say, you're very much adamant about punk rock and stuff. So,
or just the mentality.
The mentality. I was about to say, you guys
mentality.
get away from the whole, I guess, the quote unquote new metal sound and going more of a punk rock sound with.
Well, not.
In the
See, I
future,
I never really considered us new metal. I think that was just magazines.
Yeah.
You know, they see somebody who, you know, first you have Sonny from POD on your record, and they're like, oh, you sound like POD, and that must mean you sound like Rage. Oh, look, he has kind of like dreadlocks. Yeah, they sound like Rage. It's like.
Deftones was another one that people have talked about too. Yeah.
But here's the thing: all those bands, they're so amazing, that if somebody wants to compare you to them, don't argue. You know what I mean? It's like, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all. I'll just say thank you. So I would love to, to be right there with those guys, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're friends with all them, and we go on tour with them and stuff. And it's been awesome. They've been good to us. So I don't know. Call us what you want to. Just let us be Islander. That's really what it is.
All right, I got a couple of fun questions to wrap it up. What is your best and worst summer vacation?
My worst summer vacation. I'm not going to give away all the details, but I went to the beach when I was a kid, and I didn't get sick, and just a lot of family drama. I remember.
Okay.
And stuff, and it was just a terrible experience. It made me pretty much hate road trips. Like now I'm in a band, and I'm always on a road trip.
Yeah.
But which I like touring. It's just I think the aspect of always being concerned if I'm going to get sick and stuff like that. I think that the psychological aspect of it came from being a kid that got sick on vacation.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? So I think that my nerves in that sense. You said in my best summer vacation.
Yeah, worst, best and worst.
The best one. It was like last year or the year before. Usually, my wife and I would try to make a trip out to Savannah, Georgia, every year. We go eat like shrimp and scallops and stuff, and we just lie around in the hotel room and watch TV because we don't have cable or anything. So, like when we get to like sit there in a hotel room and like, turn on HGTV.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's fun, dude.
All right. Actually, this is kind of like off the wall here, but actually, I heard a little funny story about you today, kind of like a humorous story about when you're in college on the last day of exams, and something about a hat.
Yeah, dude. Nah, it pissed me off. No, I was in college, and you're not supposed to wear hats at the school that I went to.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody knows where I went to school, like, I love that school to this day. Like, I plan on going back if I ever get like a break, or if I could just do online classes or whatever.
Yeah, fun fact, at one point, we and a lot of other people here, they were actually there at the same time at one point. So
yeah, dude,
yeah.
I can't say anything bad about that school. Like, as far as like just like the teachers and stuff, they've taught me so much. And I'm pretty hard to teach. I'm always trying to talk and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was wearing a hat on the last day of school in the cafeteria, and I was sitting there eating, and some guy that worked for the school, he's like one of the guys over people or whatever, he got up and looked at me and was, hey, take off your hat. And I was gonna do it, but I was like, I kind of said, there was this other dude with a hat. I said, tell him to do it too. He said, no, just you. And when he said no, just you, that little fire in my, that little
the punk rock attitude, rebellious attitude, and all that.
I guess that piece of me that I try to make die every day, it spoke up and was like, you know what? No, like, I'm not taking off my hat. So next thing you know, they had me escorted out of the school. This guy came and escorted me out. I went home. No joke. I got home. The school called me. One of the main guys called me. He was like, "What happened today?" And I explained everything, and he was like, "Look," he's like, "it's the last day of school." He's like, "I don't want any trouble." He's like, "I know you are, and like, I don't have some bad reputation at school. It was just this hat incident, I couldn't accept just me, somebody be like, just you. It's like, no, everybody else too then. So I should have taken the hat off. Like now I would just be like, whatever. But I got escorted. I didn't even get to eat my food I paid for.
Oh man.
So, but it's all good.
It's all good.
I went back the next year and we had a great year.
Okay. The last question, it's kind of like our trademark question. What is the most memorable, awkward, unique thing you've ever had to sign?
You want all three of those?
Give them all three. Give all three. Well, if you can, or just one that applies to one of them.
I don't know. There's all kinds of like people have me sign like foreheads, stuff like that. I don't sign any inappropriate parts of people's bodies. People will ask that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes I'll say, "I'm sorry. Like I'm married. I don't do that." And they'll go, "I'm married too," and I'll go, "Okay. Well, how about I'm strongly convicted?" Like, so I just always offer to sign like their arm or like a poster or something like that. But I've had to sign like people, like this one girl, I remember she brought this book and she had all these different singers and stuff from her favorite bands write and draw in like one of the pages. So she left the book with me for a little bit, and I got to draw and write. And I just wrote all the kind of like Bible verses, and like I drew this cool like Islander logo at the
Awesome.
top and stuff. So that was pretty rad.
Okay.
You know, like because that makes it more personal. I also got to write in Cheech Yang from Deftones' memory book.
Ooh,
That was cool.
that's awesome.
So
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, address, or promote, or anything before we wrap it up?
thank you, Greenville. Thank you, world. Signing off. This is Mikey, and this is.
Trenton from SoutheastPetReport.com.
And we love you guys. Peace.
All right. I just hit that red. I'll come over here and do it.
Did we do okay?
Dude, that was